I had a comment about the single foot double stroke for punk music, whether use the heel toe or the slide technique, and I said slide hands down. So I'm going to go over a couple exercises, not so much how to do the slide, but on how to get your slide technique better, or just the double stroke better, because I'm not actually sliding my foot, it's kind of a skip, and I'll show you what I did to get it to that speed, and then I'll show you a foot cam afterwards. The reason I'm not going to go with that first is because if you work on these exercises, you don't need to look at someone else's foot and copy it. Everyone wants to see and try and mimic what they're doing, but the thing about this technique is it just kind of happens on its own. Once you get to a certain speed, your foot learns how to do it. Some guys will have a bit of a swivel, some guys will just be pushing down, and depending on how you are and how your body is, how you sit, it'll be a little bit different. But I will show you the exercises now, and then I'll put the camera to my foot just so you can see it. One thing you're going to want to do is use a metronome for this. I'll see too many guys when they're playing, and their first two hits will be in time, and then they slide their foot up, and it's not controlled, and the double is way too quick. You got to be able to do, slower doubles as well. So we're going to go right, left, kick, kick around the kit, and as I do it, you're going to notice I'll try accenting the right hand sometimes, then I'll switch, maybe I'll accent the left hand, because even though I'm working on my foot, I can still be working on my hands. So we'll start it at, 110, nice and slow. You may be slower than this, that's fine. The idea is to keep it clean. Now if you want to add in some independence, keep time on the hats. And you'll notice, because of the way I'm sitting, it's not going to work. Because your foot's going at the same time, you actually have both feet in the air sometimes. So if you're a leaner, which I'm kind of bad for, your balance is going to go off and you're going to get sloppy. So this is something really good to work on. One thing I can do is I can play that a lot faster, cleanly, because it's a lot harder to control it at this speed. And I should state that I'm using a Speed King pedal. So if you're thinking that, you're cheating using the rebound, or your pedal has more settings than me, there is no springs on this pedal. It is what it is, and you can't adjust the beater angle. And it is way past 45-degree angles, which you'll see after. And this bass drum is a Roland, it's got 0 rebound, so there you go. So let's try this one, let's go to 140. So one thing I noticed while I'm doing that is because this beater goes so far backwards, when you get playing this fast, don't let the beater come back all the way, or your first hit is going to take a lot longer. Same with on the double stroke, you want it to stay close and keep a little bit of pressure on the kick drum pedal, and that will help you. And as I go a little faster here, 160. Same thing, just a little more. And lastly, 180. And let's just try 200 for kicks. See that? At that speed, it's not that clean for me to do it consistently. When I'm doing just a double stroke in a song, no problem. But if doing that consistently, my shin's going to burn. So for this exercise, I suggest playing it for a longer period of time and building the muscles and getting the feel down, and not just doing, 30 seconds as fast as you can and being gassed. I should not have that right in front of me. So yeah, try it at like just maybe 80% and see if you can go for 5 minutes straight. And then from there on, you know, if you can do it for 5 minutes, maybe up it a little bit. So the next one is kick right left. And if you're not keeping time, you will not notice because it starts to sound it's still the same pattern and it'll overlap itself. So make sure you keep time. So now, why are we doing this? Well, if you're playing just even a rock beat, you know, I'm doing that slide double there. Punk music, a shuffle, right there, that's that double again. Even in jazz, whatever you're doing, fills, I'm going to do a double when I do the beginning of this one. Linear fills. Another thing I do is I will create a beat that just utilizes way too many double strokes that I'm not going to be playing in my band songs, but I use them just for practice. Like, and you don't have to do it fast. If your springs are even somewhat tight, you're building up your ankle muscles and getting the rebound. It's kind of like a stick hit. You know, it's you push, you almost release for a quick second and you grab it. It's like dribbling a basketball. So just even doing triplets. But all of these things work towards it. And then once you get, you know, a pretty good basis down, don't go too fast too soon, or you're going to get back to, you're going to be able to play it fast there, but you're not going to be able to play it at the medium pace. So for me, I'll do it, let's try it at 180 here for some punk. I could probably do that all day. The thing is, this pedal and not wearing shoes or anything like that is actually very, very difficult for me right now. I should have grabbed my other ones almost for this video, but it's just showing that if you learn this stuff and it's not easy while you're learning it, then you can play it on anything. You know, I don't want to be one of those people that can only do it on my Axis pedals because I have the tension loose and they're super smooth and they bounce back easily. I don't think I'm going to find a pedal much harder to play than this one. And the last couple things I would do is just some bass drum heavy beats. Just to get your foot used to playing consistently. Sometimes you may want to speed it up a little bit, and you may want to do the, you know, the 16th note stretch nice and long to get a good burn on, because if you notice, most punk drummers have a pretty decent shin muscle. And a couple things for settings, because I can't do it on this pedal, having your beater a little closer to the head with a little more tension to allow it to rebound does make it easier to get the bounce. If your bass drum skin's super loose, your pedals are way back here and it's just hitting and it's not coming back, kind of like this thing, it's you have to work a lot harder to get the same results. Another bass drum heavy beat I'll do is the standard punk beat, but I'll do a double on every stroke. Do that for a while. You actually notice your quads will start feeling it too, just from pushing down. Which goes to my last thing. People think the slide technique is mostly sliding forward. We're actually going to move the camera down now, so I'm going to show you this, and I'll show you the technique just a bit more. Alright, I'm not actually going to be able to play anything on the kit right now because I have a camera and a snare drum between my legs, making this very awkward. Everyone thinks you're sliding forward for the slide technique. You know, if I slide forward, I'm not even going to get a stroke. I'll maybe get one at the end there. If I go straight down, I can get a double. Because I'm hitting it twice. What you're seeing is I'm actually hitting two strokes. So that's why when I'm telling you, you know, right, left, kick, kick. most of you are going to start out actually doing 2 strokes on the right, left, kick, kick. Which is perfect, because then when you start sliding, it's more of an ankle tension release, like you can't see it flexing there, but so all I'm doing is rather than push straight down and do that, I'm kind of pushing a bit more on an angle. On this pedal, as you can see how far back it is, I can fit my whole foot between the pedal and the drum. See how close to the head it stays? I'm not letting it go all the way back, and I'm keeping the tension on there. But on this pedal, because it's so far back, and because like the springs are pretty tight on it, and I can't adjust, I play a little further up, and I'm sliding a little bit. My other pedal, I don't do that. It basically looks like, but when I'm going fast, and for heel up, don't be playing like this. I'm doing this for an example, but yeah, you don't need to be on here because otherwise your calf muscles start feeling it. So that's pretty much it. Work on your 3, 4, or work on those couple exercises over and over. I'm talking, like, I didn't learn how to do this in a year or 2 years. It was playing a few years of punk music, even doing the cheating, and then slowly and then eventually you can kind of get the coordination down for, but even the poppier beat there. So yeah, there's just a couple little examples of the way I use that double. When I'm playing a single pedal, I actually never do heel toe, not even once little time. So when I have 2 pedals, I'll do heel toe for a very long run of 16th, maybe the odd broken pattern, and that's it. You get a much more consistent sound, it's louder, and it's easier to control the timing. On heel toe, sometimes, you know, your doubles will be too quick or too slow. So this is the one. If you're going to learn one technique, I recommend it. I'm going to try and make a few more videos soon. If you like this, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, or whatever, and I'll try and answer any questions.